Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where I have been contemplating exactly how you pronounce Gleona's name. I have this bad habit of sometimes emphasizing the wrong syllable, so let's see if I could someday consistently pronounce it at the beginning of the word and not in the latter parts of it. Anyway, let's see what Gleona has to say.
Oh, this cold. This feels nothing like the Wildermore of my youth.
Well, the fact that you're not wearing a jacket or gloves probably tells me that you were certainly expecting a completely different weather. I left as a young man and returned as an old one, and the land that greets me is more different than I myself have become. Deserting farms, frozen rivers, enemies lurking behind every tree and over every stone. What will we find when we come to my home in Dunfast? Good question.
I am done with worrying. I want to see what has become of my home.
I have not been to my home for many years, but when I last walked in Wildermore, the land itself was very different. What could have become of the small village in which I was born? I would not presume to divert our course without everyone's agreement, Pinelore. If you consent to the journey, and so too do Horn and Corridon, then I would be grateful for the visit to Dunfast. If not, I fully understand and only ask that you forgive me my request in the first place. Right, well then. Let's see what Horn has to say about this.
Will Gleowine's reception at Dunfast be warmer than my own at Eoworth?
Will Gleowana regret the journey as I did? Ah, it was a poor jest. I have much for which to be grateful, and only a lesser man takes it assured the health and safety of his family. Gleowana's family has long since left the village of Dunfast, but I can understand that his desire to see it has become in the place. I agree with the journey. Did you think that I wouldn't? Well, who knows? Well, what does Gordon have to say?
I understand Gleowine's desire completely. I would feel the same.
I would feel the same if I heard such troubling news about Lothlorien. We would be poor companions indeed were we to refuse such a request. We should travel to Dunfast, though the situation there promises to be no different than elsewhere in Wildermore. Let us hope that Gleona's sake that I am wrong. All right. Then let us set out and travel to Dunfast. As I'm traveling along the lakeside, I have finally found the island where I need to search, but I also am hearing the approach of a pack of wolves. I think we need to deal with them before things get out of hand. There you go. Well, assuming I can get through these guys. A tough set here. There you go. Well, at least that's one advantage of the bear cub. They can think. And you. Whew. Well, you have defeated Grimtar. Actually, of the solo war bands, that one seems to be one of the more serious ones of it. Well, alright, let's go and grab that. And then let's take care of this Warg Rider. It decided to go into the water. Not exactly a tenable place Okay, fine. You want me to? Have an easier time at it? Go ahead. Defeat orc riders in the with. Well, I have no idea if I'm ever going to get that done, but alright. Here we go. Now, I think it's time for us to... Oh, here's the island right over here. It's a much shorter swim than I would have had if I'd gone the other way. I better get inside quickly. This outfit doesn't protect me as much as the other, but... it needs to dry off if I'm not going to catch myself. Well, I was about to say if I'm going to avoid catching a death of cold, but this thing isn't all that great in this climate. Now, let's see. I hope this thing's indoors and sheltered. Otherwise, I'm going to have a very, very cold time here. Ooh. Oh, you have located the crypt. Okay, good. Of course, it could be chilly inside also. Ah, at least not as cold as it is outside. Now, what have we got here? More of these shades or whatever they are. Daigel. So these are Daigels. Are there also Smagels? Just wanting to know. Okay, and here you go. Now, what am I supposed to be doing in here? Open the Wailing Daigle's casket deep within the crypt. Alright, so make sure everything is fine over here. Okay, good. You have opened the casket of the Wailing Daigel, and the captor appears. Oh, this is the captor. Well, he's a malevolent Daigel. What, as opposed to the nice ones we had elsewhere? I really need to get back into the cadence of actually using an interrupt. The captor Daigel has been defeated. Good. Now, I need to probably travel back to the village of No, that's it. Speak with the Wailing Daigel. Oh, well, speak to him again. Well, that'll be later. I have to see Glewin at first. Yep, that's about what I expected. Big spike of ice. And a very quiet village.
What happened here? I see no signs of battle.
Dunfast was never a large village, but there were always people about. What's happened here? Where are all the people? We should search the village. Let me know if you're ready, and the four of us will explore Dunfast together. Alright, I suppose we can do that?
I was born in Dunfast many years ago. What has happened to the village I remember?
From here, Dunfast looks much as I remember it, but where are all the people? Let us walk into the village and see if anyone remains who can tell us what happened. We can do that. When I left Dunfast, I was a young man. So much of my life was ahead of me. Look over there. Someone disturbed these sacks. Do you see anyone? I think we are alone. I am not so certain. I feel as if we're being watched. I feel eyes on us, Pine Lore, but I can't tell if they are hostile or friendly eyes. Stay on your guard. Alright. This is the house of my childhood. Still there? What have you found, Horn? Ah, what have you got here? It's a bush? I think I found the location of our mysterious Watcher Pine Lore. There is something hiding in this bush. Be ready for anything, and I will seize the person before it could pose any threat. Be ready. I am going to frighten our Watcher out of hiding. Okay? Look out! That would be a small orc indeed if to fit inside that one. Well, I'm ready for anything. Could you give me a hand, Pine Lore? Thank you. It is better to be safe and to bruise one's dignity in a small amount than to be surprised by some dangerous foe, is it not? This time it was a shrew. Next time it might be a hidden enemy. Perhaps Gordon can flush the next Watcher out of hiding, and I will be the one that's laughing. Oh, well. I think there's still someone around. Oh! I think we found our Watcher. Hello, Nona. Nona! You've come back! Ah, you must have tracked us for many days to find us in Wildermore. I did not, Horn. I did not look for you. What? I did not know that you would be in this village. I came here for supplies. We have enough to spare. I cannot travel with again, Horn. Oh, why do you say that? There's a city to the north. I found people there dying in the snow. I brought them safely to a cave in the mountains. They're still too weak to survive on their own. I came to this village to steal food and supplies for them. I can't adventure with you any longer. When they're stronger, well, I will promise nothing, Horn. I'm sorry. Nona, it is good to see you again. How can we help the people in your care? I've been looking for root vegetables like the ones in Dunland. Pine Lore knows of them. They have curative properties. I need to get back. Nona, you left your brother's sword with me. Let me return it. It desires to be with you. I know it. Horn, please keep it. I am Water's ghost no longer. I don't understand, Pine Lore. It has been days since we had last seen Nona, and my affection for her has only grown during that time. The fondness that she felt for me before we came to Airworth, has it gone? Did I imagine it? I couldn't have. Horn greatly distressed, but you have no easy words to comfort him. Well, what does Gordon have to say? One look at Nona's face told me that she had not been prepared to see Horn in Dunfast. She's not yet resolved her feelings for him. Caring for the injured folk that she mentioned maybe have caused her to delay her resolving the thoughts, or perhaps it is so difficult a riddle that she needs more time to untangle the solution, even without the distraction of responsibility. Horn may appear inconsolable, but he need not despair. I have not given up on our Dunlanding firebrand, and neither should he. Well, what does Gleoine have to say? That is the woman who has taken Horn's heart from him. He has spoken of her a great deal to me since we have been journeying together, but not once did he mention that she was a Dunlanding tribeswoman. And she came to this town, the town of my childhood, seeking to steal its goods and provisions? I remember what it was like to be young, when blood and passions flared in the springtime. I am not fit to judge them. If Horn misses her so, I hope that she'll reconsider her dismissal of him. Well, we'll have to see about that. Well, ready to go? I don't know what to think, Pine Lore. That reunion did not proceed as I might have wished. Oh, well. Well, what do you think, Horn?
You must think me a fool. You are kind not to say so.
This is not how I imagined the stay of Pine Lore. I thought that Nona would come back into my life and all would be as I wished it to be. But this is not what I wanted. I'm even more confused than I ever was. This is not how love works in the songs. It feels as if the unnatural winter that grips this land has cooled Nona's heart as well. Oh, well. Let's see, what do we have here? How if I take the one more suited for my class?
Nona said she shelters in a cave, but we must not go there immediately.
Yes, she shelters in a cave with some refugees in the high knolls, but we can't go there now. Do not need to ask Corden to know such a reunion so soon after this first meeting would spell disaster. All that has happened to us in Wildermore is a muddle, Pine Lore. Only this encounter with Nona has any clarity in my memory. How can such a pain of the heart fill me with both delight and with sadness? Well, what does Corden have to say about that? Well, what do you say?
We must do what we can in the witch shaws. That will help everyone.
Horn may be at a loss, but I know what must be done. We must do what we can about the White Hand's presence in the witch halls. This will aid Nona, and it will aid us, and it will aid any of the people of Dunfast that may still live. It will even aid Horn. He needs to keep himself busy, or he will dwell upon losing Nona for a second time. He may dwell on it anyway, but if we can channel that energy to a good purpose, there may have been some benefit to seeing her again this time. Those root vegetables that Nona mentioned, the ones that grow at the bases of trees, I think that you should collect some of them if you see any. It will just a thought, but it may save us some time tomorrow if we collect them today. Okie dokie. Well, I suppose I can do that. So I need to defeat orcs in the witch halls and find root vegetables. Assuming I can find them below in this region. Okay. How about that? We got one there. Oh. Hey, can I get this thing? Where were you at? Oh, there you are. Okay, that works. Here is an orc that's not mounted. Should be easier to defeat. At least we don't have to worry about chasing them all over the place. Whack. Okay, that takes care of the orcs. Now, well, not all the orcs apparently. Oh, I have seen 3 root vegetables from this spot. Oh. So I'm going to call this Root Haven. You're... Hello? Wanna fight? Good. Now, Let's see. Well, okay, that's not a root vegetable, but the pack may hold root vegetables. This could hold the secrets of finding more root vegetables. Now, I thought I saw some root vegetables. But was I seeing all sorts of false positives or something? Oh, of course, I was chasing. Yeah, right. I was chasing that orc around a bit, so I guess I did not return to the right spot. There you go. Now. There we go. We got quite a number now. Ah, I dealt with a couple of orcs, but looks like we have an entire camp of them here. Well, I reached my quota. I think it's time to make sure that they don't do anything nasty to our friends. There you go. Huh. One more root vegetable, and I think we can head back to Dunfast. Assuming I can. I think I found it. No problem whatsoever. Now, let's see what Corridon has to say about this.
I think Horn is feeling better. Nothing cures an aching heart like hard work.
Speak with Horn and see if I'm right about him being better now. Well, what do you say about that, Horn?
I know what we need to do.
Yeah? We need to go to the cave in which Nona spoke and help her provide for the refugees that she mentioned. First, we should gather the root vegetables that she needs. Do you remember? She said that... What? Why are you looking at me like that? Horn trails off, following my eyes to the pile of root vegetables at Coroner's feet. Then he bursts out laughing. Wonderful, Pine Leaf! You remain 2 or 3 steps ahead of this humble minstrel, and I have no excuse but the foggy shroud of love to explain this predictability. You have my thanks, and thoughtful lore master, as you have always have done. All right, there we go.
Nona told us the survivors in her care came from the city of Bir Tor.
According to Gleona's map, Bir Tor is north of here along the road, amid the high knolls of Wildermore. My master has always expressed a desire to see that city. Even he grew up in this area, has never had a chance to see Bir Tor. I believe that he has a kernel of a song in his heart, and desires to see what has befallen Bir Tor in order to make that kernel set forth its shoots. In this weather, not too many kernels are going to be setting forth shoots. If you find orcs there, well, as we certainly must, then we must slay them. If Nona's heart beats for the people under her care, so too does mine. So, over to Bir Tor. It's like a pub crawl, isn't it? Whether that's a city or a pub crawl, we'll have to find that out in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.